Hello, friends. Hope you are studying well. Before we start the chapter, I want to ask if you have a pet at home. How would you define the connection or bond you share with them? I am sure you share a deep bond with them. They aren't just animals, they are family. The theme of today's story is loyalty, companionship, and resilience, and it belongs to genre, realistic fiction. About the author. William D. Ellis was an American author and journalist, known for his engaging storytelling, particularly in historical and inspirational narratives. Here are a few key details about him. Profession. He primarily worked as a journalist and writer, wrote for newspapers, magazines, and authored several books. Famous works: A Dog Named Duke, which is his most well-known short story, widely taught in schools. The Bounty Trilogy, co-authored with Charles Nordhoff and James Norman Hall. Wrote historical books like The Cuyahoga, A River in Ohio. Writing style: simple yet impactful storytelling with emotional depth. Often wrote about real-life struggles, perseverance, and human-animal bonds. Now, let's jump into this incredible story together. If it touches your heart like it did mine, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more inspiring tales, and ring the bell so you never miss our next story. The incident of this heart-touching story took place in 1953 in a small suburb in America where Chuck Hooper and his wife Marcy resided. Hooper was a successful zonal sales manager for a chemical company, and the couple lived a comfortable life. Chuck was an animal lover and desired to have a pet dog, a Doberman, while his wife Marcy wanted to own a dog of a smaller breed, such as a Pomeranian. One autumn evening, while driving home from work, Chuck met with a severe car accident, which left him confined to a hospital bed. He had suffered a subdural hemorrhage, which means bleeding in the brain, and the motor section of his brain was paralyzed, leaving his left side motionless. He was critically ill for a month, and after 6 weeks, the hospital put him in a wheelchair. Although he was given plenty of therapy, such as exercise for his paralyzed left arm and leg, baths, and a wheeled walker, there was not much improvement. By March that year, he was sent home. At first, he was excited to return home after a long time, but soon Chuck started to feel sad staying at home, while Marcy, his wife, went off to work. Finally, the couple decided to bring home their pet dog Duke, who had been left in a kennel when the accident had taken place. As Chuck wanted to greet his pet in a standing position, he requested Marcy to hold him up, but as Duke's long, overgrown nails hit the wheels of his walker, he was spun around and launched into the air. The dog hit the master below his belt, and Chuck had to fight to keep his balance. Yet the sensible dog realized that he had done something wrong. The dog never repeated the act and would sit silently beside his master's bed, now and then occasionally nudging him to get up and take a few steps. His master, though, would simply ignore these gestures and order the dog to lie still or simply take a run around the house. One evening, Chuck's right hand, which had full mobility, hooked the leash onto Duke's collar to hold him still. The dog shook himself into a U-shape so that Hooper might stand with his support. Chuck, with his good hand, folded the paralyzed fingers around the leash. With Marcy supporting him at the elbow, Chuck moved his right leg forward, straightening it, while the dog pulled the leash tight in order to give Hooper some support to walk. This was the first of many steps the duo were to take as the dog began to walk his master around by tightening the leash that his master held. Soon Hooper learned to keep his balance, and by mid-April, the dog would pull at the leash, then stand still, and then move ahead. Soon, Duke began asking his master to take 2 trips in a day. Marcy discussed with the doctor the improvement Duke was bringing into his life. The doctor prescribed her to continue these walks along with some exercises. In January, Chuck surprised his colleagues at work by arriving one morning and offering to work every day for an hour at the office. The company's headquarters were not too happy with this move, as it created problems for them to have a salesman who only worked for an hour daily. By March, Chuck had recovered enough to work for a full day, as that had been the target he had laid down for himself. His determination and hard work impressed his seniors, and the company gave him a promotion as a regional manager, overseeing the sales in 4 states. But tragedy struck again when Duke was overrun by a passing vehicle, while Chuck was busy inside entertaining a few friends. When Marcy picked up the limp animal and placed him in the car, the look in Duke's eyes told her everything. Duke breathed his last, but Hooper continued his daily walking routine, and his reward for his persistence came in the form of another promotion when he was appointed assistant sales manager at the national level for his company. Chuck felt it was a tribute that he owed to Duke. Thank you for watching. Happy studying.